January 1933, Hitler became Chancellor, and here's how.
Luckily for Hitler, at this time the current government in Germany was already weak, and therefore it didn't take much for Hitler to gain popularity, especially as the Nazi Party were the largest party.
His book Mein Kampf also created a buzz for him and his party, and although terribly written, was a bestseller in 1925. This resulted in an increase of 100 members for the Nazis in 1929.
The relationship his party had with the middle class and farmers also greatened. They felt for the first time they were being listened to, and this was very appealing to them.
As well as reaching out to the middle class, the Nazis were keen to appeal to all walks of life in Germany. As part of doing this, they invited certain communities, e.g. the youth, elderly and middle class, along to the evening classes, where special guests would speak and reach out to the specified citizens.
Through these meetings, the Nazis were able to understand which point/subjects were popular with their members, and create a specified and more effective propaganda system.
The Hitler Youth was also a huge influence. It aided the strengthening of the next generation and their belief and trust in Hitler and his party.
Due to the previous points mentioned, in July 1932, Hitler managed to gain 37.3% of the votes, amounting to 230 seats in Parliament, which was their best result ever.
Because of Hitler's success in the elections, and due to the fact that the Nazi Party were the largest, Hitler demanded to be appointed Chancellor.
Although Hindenburg, the current president, hated Hitler, he could see the potential and personal value of using the Nazis.
Although he considered appointing Hitler as Chancellor, he instead chose von Papen, who had absolutely no support within the Reichstag. Hindenburg chose him though because he was hopeful that he could make a right-wing coalition government with the help of the Nazis. Hitler bluntly refused, and so Hindenburg called another election.
This election was held in November 1932, and it was a bad one for the Nazis. They were in financial troubles and were having to make appeals publicly to gain party funds.
In a desperate attempt to regain their followers, they advertised themselves using leaflets, meetings and newspaper ads just to get themselves noticed.
Despite their efforts, the Nazis continued to lose votes. The SA's violency was getting old, and they were disinteresting the Germans.
The votes as a result dropped to 33.1%, losing them 34 seats. Although this amount of votes still left them as the largest party, their morale was at a low.
Just as the Nazi Party were at rock bottom, help came along in the form of a feud between General von Schließer and von Papen.
They were having a struggle in deciding who would become Chancellor, as von Schließer wanted to overthrow von Papen, and it got so heated that they just handed the position over to Hitler.
Hitler's clever manoeuvring around von Papen and von Schließer, his propaganda skills, his enticing manner and strategic thinking resulted in his succession as Chancellor.
Created using Powtoon.